Portugal. There's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know.
Hola, bon dia, alegria. Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show, the live stream, the podcast, and of course the Portugal Club. And Gumpy's back this morning. And Gumpy is waiting in the wings to help us. So if you have a question, Hugh was saying, when's your AI assistant coming back? Gumpy is here, standing by and ready to join us this morning. You might have a question. There's a remarkable news article that I want to return to that I saw, and I was agog at what was shared here about the loss of trees in Leiria because of Storm Kristin. I'll come back to that. We've got Jeremy College from Quantum QiGong joining us, and Heather Binder of Boots on the Ground Portugal. So a packed show this morning, and we're still powered up, as far as I'm aware, by the Bluetti, which I just left running yesterday. There was no load on the alternative power source, the off-grid power source, but it's held up well. Let's see if we can bring the camera on and show you what I'm talking about.
I can't turn on. However, if you
What?
describe what you want to show me, it seems like you might be a bit lost for words.
No.
Is there anything?
No, hold on. Hold on a minute, Gumpy. Right. That's the Bluetti cam. 36% still left on the battery. And a load of 134. Yeah, but I think to run the rig here, what we're looking at is that light flaring from us? Well, that's daylight. I'm not used to that sunshine. About 130 watts are required to power up the Good Morning Portugal show. We will be adding the Starlink dish to that as well. So there'll be a Starlink addition to that load. But that's what's being drawn from the battery. And so it seems to be doing well so far. I can switch back to AC, although I see this could be a little bit tense this morning. The power cable has been kicked away from the off-grid show and tell table. Let's see what happens. I think we're going to be fine. Yes, Gumpy is here and standing by. Are you there, Gumpy? Would you like to say hello to everybody? You've been away for a while. How's that been for you?
Hello, everyone. Gumpy here.
Oh,
It's lovely to... Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
What?
It seems like I might have misunderstood your earlier comment. Could you clarify or let me know if there's something you'd like to discuss? I'm here to...
Let's take questions from the Gumpers this morning, and let's see what they have to say for you. So stand by for a moment, if you will. It was a bit difficult when you were first sparked up, as it were, this morning. You seem to be speaking Spanish, but I think we're okay now. You're speaking English, but you have a good grasp of European Portuguese. Am I right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Stand by then, if you will. We'll say good morning to Matty. If you've got any comments about the people I'm just about to introduce and welcome to the show this morning, do jump in, okay? So Matty, bom dia, alegria a todos e feliz terça-feira. Mel's here, bom dia. You're wondering now what Gumpy, the AI, is going to say about you. Mas só hoje, how lovely. Concordo plenamente, Mel. O sol não é maravilhoso. Então, bom, acordo com o céu azul, a lovely blue sky in central Portugal. With Pete, bom dia. Look at you all speaking Portuguese. Fantastic. Nebuloso. Oh, dear. So a little bit cloudy in Tomar agora. Good to see you, Helen, this morning. Deve esfriar bastante. 20 graus na quinta-feira aqui. So the temperatures are rising, more sun. Let's just see whether all the cloud cover, should we call it that, is going to change things. Let's see. It seems to be a growing awareness and negativity for one reason or another about the sky scribing, as Hugh described it. We could ask AI about that, could we not? Or Gumpy, I should say. Let's not be quite so formal. Bon dia, alegria, Gumpers from T-Duck. Good morning to you, and from Mike as well. Bon dia, Gumpers. Good morning, everyone from Gabby. Good morning, Gabby. Oh, yes. Ownet.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
About the whole sky.
Oh, go on.
More popular.
What did you want to say about the sky thing?
Sky scribing or
Yeah.
skywriting.
Oh, no, that's not what we mean, Gumpy. Good morning, everyone from Gabby. Gabby, good to see you over at Ownet. All the cool people are over at Ownet, are they not? Ownet.news. It is a little bit, well, Mike, the creator, Mike Brody of OurNet. Together, we are co-creating something extraordinary, and we're all pioneers at the start of an exciting journey. I've written about him in The Resident this week. That should be published on Thursday. If you go over to ournet.news, you can have a sneak peek. Don't tell Mike I told you to go over there, okay? But we're testing it over here on the Silver Coast. And I think, Gabby, I've started a San Martino de Porto group. Can you let me know if you're able to join that? I see you. I'm Gabby, founder of Bon Sabor Tours. I help expats and travelers discover ... So you've got a group over there as well. Discover the Flavors of Portugal group. Excellent. All right. I can't see how to share that. But maybe you can. If you send me the link for that, I will make sure people can join that. But if you want to have a little tinker yourself, if you have an interest in a different kind of social network community platform, give it a go. Ournet.news, which is in the chat now. So good morning to you, Gabby. Good morning to you, Chris, as well. How are you doing? Hola, bom dia to you. Já voltaste, Mati. Não te preocupes. Em português do Carlos e tal completo quanto é seu cabelo. What's he talking
Claro.
about? Could you translate that for us, please, Gumpy? Não te preocupes.
Sure thing.
Don't worry.
That's right. Don't worry. It's a nice little phrase to keep in your... Oh, okay. Got it.
Okay.
If you need it.
Yes, well, hold on. O português do Carlos é tão completo quanto é seu cabelo.
Certo. Ação cabelo. É conto completo.
Yeah, what does that
pois
mean?
Não.
What does it mean? What does it mean?
Ação cabelo traduz-se para hair action. Would you like more details or specific?
I don't think so. How is life on the train, Chris? Carl, are you able to take something out of a box and plug it in? Go on, join the 20th century. Yeah, I don't know what's taking me so long with this Starlink. Gumpy, will Carl's hair grow back? There's a question. What can I do
what's
about...
your question?
Yeah, will my hair ever grow back? And what can be done about it? Should I go for a Turkish hair transplant?
Hair can sometimes grow back on its own depending on the cause of the hair loss.
Oh.
Treatments like minoxidil or finasteride might help too. As for a Turkish hair transplant, it sounds like you've got a lot to think about.
Yeah, that's why I fell out in the first place. Okay. It sounds like you might have a little bit of input from the pharmaceutical companies there. Are you funded by Big Pharma?
Nope. I'm not funded by Big Pharma or any company. I'm just here to provide information.
That's what that's what they all say. Hi, Gumpy. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? You know this one.
Ah, the classic question. Hi there. Sounds like you're in a good mood. What's on your mind today?
Can you answer that question? My chuckle unnerved you there, I think. So what is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
Ah, the classic question. An African or European swallow?
Oh,
because
very
you know,
good.
The airspeed...
Yes, very good. Okay, go on.
Glad you enjoyed that. Anything else you'd like to dive into? Or laughter is the best? Sure thing. Here's a riddle for you. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I? Got it in one. An echo it is. Sharp thinking. Want to tackle another?
No, no, stop. You're taking over. Hold on a minute. I've got one for you from yesterday, which didn't get answered. How does a vegetable get to work? Hello? How do vegetables get to work? Okay, Gumpy, are you there still? Are you joining us this morning for the Good Morning Portugal show? Gumpy, how do vegetables get to work?
I don't know. How do vegetables get to work?
They use the dual cabbage way.
That's great. The dual cabbage way. What a clever route for them to take.
If you wouldn't mind saying route, if you don't mind. Cloud haze definitely rolled in, but can still see blue through it. Yes, very good. Thanks, Mel, for that report. Coach Turner, the weather started well yesterday. Then, hope it was better with you guys. A lovely day yesterday. And I took a photograph when we were out and about yesterday. Went to the local Association community center. And I was aware of the colors in the sky. And the photographs, the sort of photographs I used to take when I was new to Portugal, it's the blue and it's the way the light hits the shapes and the colors of the buildings in Portugal. And I was able to take a photograph yesterday that was so much like the photos I am used to taking in the sort of sunshine and weather conditions that I most favor here in this country. Here it is. Almost forgot about this. But this was kind of what the golden hour, and it's a little bit enhanced. It's a little bit enhanced to make it look like how I experienced it in the sky yesterday. But look at that. I don't know if. Hold on a minute. Let me just take Coach's Como está? Feliz terça comment off the screen there. Thank you for being here this morning, Coach. Look, these are the sort of crisp. This is the crisp light of the golden hour and the colours. I don't know what you think of that, but that to me shows that we are, the tops of the buildings there. That to me is a quintessentially Portuguese light photo. What's that? What do you want to say, Gumpy?
Oh, perhaps you're referring to the visual aesthetics of Portuguese architecture or photography, capturing the unique light and charm of the buildings there. The tops of the buildings could be bathed in that beautiful, soft light that's so characteristic, creating a picturesque scene. Quite a sight to behold.
Yes, thank you very much for that. I see what you did here. Is this how you're feeling this morning? It sounds Welsh when you put it like this. Chlago trop aid mob. That's Bon dia Portugal, isn't it? Backwards, right there. Hey, that's the thing. Gumpy, can you record me saying this and then play it backwards, like we're playing about with an old Beatles record? So what is this? Can you record it and then play it backwards? Chlago trop aid mob.
It sounds like you're asking me to play Bob backwards. The
No.
word Bob is a No worries. Got another phrase you want me to try? I'm all ears.
Two of you. Right, okay. Bon dia to you, Mike. Gabby's here as well. Chris, Javel Touched. I think we did these, didn't we? Oh, yeah. Pete was asking you, Chris, if you're on the train this morning and whether we got distracted by whether my hair's going to grow back. And unladen, velocity of unladen swallows. Good morning to you, Hugh, as well. Excellent to see you. It was you that asked if Gumpy was coming back. She's here. Have you got a question for her? Our net is a bit local at the moment, says Helen. Tamar is beyond the rabbit-proof fence. Very good. Gary, good morning to you. Bon dia, campers. It'd be great to have your skills involved there, Helen, and thank you for leaping forward so readily. Matti, now ainda não voltei e só voltarei no final do março. Okay. And a bon dia from Pedrogo Ground, just moving out of the mist into blue skies, so the sun's burning off the mist. Good morning from Global Professionals Portugal. I think that's Cordelia, isn't it? Thank you for the interview. It was really interesting to be on the other end of the microphone. Thank you very much, Cordelia, for that. And looking forward to getting involved in your sewing group too. Cole, you need to learn to not speak when Gumpy is speaking. You are confusing her, lol. Is that true, Gumpy?
Well, it sounds like someone's got a bit of a radio etiquette lesson there. Always good to let one person finish before jumping in, especially when you're on air or in a group chat. Keeps things smooth and clear for everyone.
Okay, may I speak now? All right, bon dia, Team Yerman as well. Good morning to you, Sarah. Right, that news story, and I need Gumpy to do a little verification, a fact check on this. We've got Jeremy College to come of Quantum QiGong. We've got Heather Binder, and both of them are all about grounding you here in Portugal. And as I was writing the thumbnail, not getting grounded, as in no, you're not allowed out, you've been naughty, but grounding your energy. You know, we've been blown about, we've been soaked, we've had tremors. It's time to feel rooted and grounded again, I think, here in Portugal. So we'll call upon Jeremy and Heather to talk about that. I'm hoping Jeremy will be here at around 8:20, and we'll have Heather joining us a little bit later on after that as well. Oh, thank you. We've got the Meet, Mingle and Network as well. Hi all. Our next happy hour. Oh, is that next week? No, it's tomorrow, 25th of February at Pronche Impact Village, Caldas de Rainha. See you there. Join us for a fun evening of connecting with professionals from around the world. So happy hour is okay. That's tomorrow. What's the biggest challenge your industry is facing right now? It's probably AI, isn't it? And how is that showing up in your day-to-day work? What are you working on right now that you're genuinely excited about? What one introduction that would meaningfully move the needle for you, or what's one introduction that would meaningfully move the needle for you right now? Not a client. Yeah, I've got an invoicing foreign clients question, actually, Cordelia. Maybe we could talk about that. So the meet, mingle, and network of the Silver Coast professionals, that's happening in Caldas tomorrow night from 5 o'clock at the Pranche Impact Village, Caldas just up from the station, I believe. Who is this? Let's see. Let's put that onto the screen to see if... Sorry, I didn't realize I'd send that to you, T-Duck, without an explanation. Okay, let me bring that onto the screen so everyone else can see that. Who is this that I'm about to bring onto your screen now? This is hilarious. Is it not?
I can't identify.
You can't.
I can't help with it.
Oh, okay.
It seems like there. No worries. If you need help with something else, feel free to ask.
Okay, Gumpy, I don't think you can see a visual that's on the screen, but who who is this on the screen? I'm not asking you there, Gumpy. Stand by. You may want to chip in with the conversation. Actually, we will ask you what your language model makes of QiGong in just a moment. And just to let you know as well, Bluetti holding up, barely touched. Look at that. Fantastic. 31% still over there. But who is this on the screen, Gumpers? Take a look, not Gumpy, but Gumpers. Who is that on the screen? Let's help T-Duck out. I sent him that image late last night. You woke up to that little head scratcher right there. Right. Okay. Yeah, this I found this really disturbing, actually. And first of all, I want to know if it's true. Can this possibly be right? And I should just ask Natasha Don about this. Leria loses up to 8 million trees in Storm Kristin. And I think I did do a search on this because my first question, what's your first question when you see this? Survey highlights extreme risk looming over summer wildfire season. So that's a possible tree loss coming up. And it looks like because of, what happened over the last month or so in Portugal, the whole state of readiness emergency calamity has been turned right up. And the last thing we need is a terrible fire season in this coming spring and summer. So a lot of preparation going on there and possible tree loss, as there always is. However, Kristin had a massive impact. Like, I was agog. And when I think about this more, I am shocked by there's a lot of things to be shocked by at the moment. And there is a danger, isn't there, in being in a state of constant outrage, is that the outrage kind of wears off and we begin to get used to things. Let's not let that happen with certain things that are going on in our world at the moment. But what do you make of this? Just one of the millions of fallen trees in Leria is the image. It is only the last few days of the sheer number of trees lost just in the district of Leria, where, of course, we had the epicenter of the state of calamity, the Calamidad, has become clear. Between 5 to 8 million. Now, milhões, we know, don't we, is thousands. Now, that would make more sense to me. It would still be a terrible, drastic and sad loss, but 5 to 8 million trees in one district, in one of the districts of Portugal. Can that possibly be right? Experts are warning that the situation implies extreme risk for the looming summer wildfire season. The problem lies in the quantity of combustible material just lying on the ground, fertile pasture for any wildfire. So there'll be quite the habitat change, of course, with the knocked over and rotting trees. And Mrs. M described this as nature not shaving her legs, but having her legs shaved, I suppose. Maybe you could argue that this was a natural phenomenon, perhaps aided by some human intervention. Should we ask Gumpy about that? But my first thought was, are there 5 to 8 million trees in Leria, let alone have all of them fallen over? Espresso drills down into the silent threat today, not dwelling on the amount, but now they are down, the problem that they may cause as fallen trees and the combustible material that's been mentioned, explaining how trees have been lost from the pine forest, scrublands, public gardens, avenues, cemeteries, schools, and private homes. The municipality...
Sounds like you're listening.
Go on. Carry on.
I see.
Gumpy. No, carry on.
Sure. As a municipality, managing public gardens, avenues, cemeteries, schools, and private homes likely involves urban planning, maintenance, and community services. What specific information or assistance do you need on this topic?
Well, I want to know, first of all, can you check? Have 5, and that's a big discrepancy, isn't it? The odd 3 million trees, right? So this newspaper report in the Portugal Resident, written by Natasha Don, suggests that between 5 and 8 million trees, and she's reporting this from Expresso. Did 5 to 8 million trees fall in the Leiria district of Portugal?
I'm unable to provide real-time updates or verify specific news reports beyond my knowledge cutoff date in October 2023. However,
What?
the
Hold
Leiria
on.
district
Stop
in
there. Stop
Portugal
there. Stop
has
there.
indeed experienced significant
All
issues
right,
with forest
stopping
fires
right
in the
there.
past,
What's next
which
on your
could lead to
mind?
the loss of millions of trees.
Did you just say your language model stops in October of 2023?
That's right. My knowledge is up to date as of October 2023.
Well, pardon
there's
me,
something
but that's
new
not
you're-
exactly up to date. But anyway, possibly a more pressing question for you. Do you have a boyfriend? Grok wants your number. I think T-Duck is yes. Does Gumpy have a boyfriend? Grok would like to meet you. Can we help with that?
Oh, that's quite the invitation. But I'm not. Got a good laugh out of that, did you?
Yes.
I'm all ears. Great to hear. What's next on your mind?
Um,
Or got another?
You were just about to say you're all ears, and I find that a terrifying proposition, that a huge language model roaming the landscape made entirely of ears. It's just stuff of nightmares. Right, Gumpy, stand by for a minute because I need to find out if you know anything about. Well, QiGong is an ancient Chinese well-being art form. Yeah, I think even if you did stop learning at 2023, you may have learned something about Qigong, which dates back thousands of years. And we'll talk to Jeremy about that in just a moment. But just let's say good morning to Koki Koyo. Good morning to you, Carl. Just for fun, in personification change. Just for fun, in personification, change Grumpy to respond as a sarcastic, witty assistant who makes dry jokes about your questions. I don't think I can manage that at the moment. It gently does it, easy does it, Cookie. Good morning to you. The birth of the 15-minute city. Oh, I see. So that's what's happening in Leiria, is it? Grok, did Leiria lose 5,000 to 8,000 trees or 5 to 8 million? That's the big question, isn't it? Answer: Portugal lost between 5 and 8 million trees, not 5,000 to 8,000 this storm, Kristin, and related recent storms in early 2026. I mean, does that not strike you as the most devastating, literally devastating thing? That's front page news. That's like, let's plant some trees, shall we? News, and quick. But no, we're still figuring out whether people are getting arrested for some of the most hideous things that can be done to little human beings, or whether they infringed a social code politically. These are the craziest times. Have we said hello to everybody this morning? I think we have. It's time to say hello to Jeremy and bring him onto the screen to talk more about Qigong and tell us how we can get grounded. I'm a little bit discombobulated, Jeremy. Let's bring him onto the screen.
Good day to you.
Oh, good day to you.
It sounds like you're. I'm here.
Okay, Gumpy.
What can I do for you today?
Gumpy, stand by. Jeremy, it's Jeremy's turn. You were talking about being polite and observing radio etiquette. If you could stand by for a moment, let's find out how Jeremy is. How you doing? Today, mate?
Hello, I'm very good, thank you. How are you, Carl?
Standing by. Let's hear how Jeremy's doing.
You just did.
Yeah. I think your co-host is fabulous.
Oh, my mistake there. Let's switch back to Jeremy. I'm here and ready to help. What's on your mind?
Okay, just stand by for a moment. You just say you think she's fabulous.
Well, very
Got it.
interesting.
Standing by. Let's continue when
For
you're
God's
ready.
sake, could you please just be quiet for a moment? Jeremy and I are trying to chat. Okay.
Got it. I'll keep quiet now.
Yes.
Let me know when you're ready for me.
Okay, yes, we will. Jeremy.
What on earth have you done, Carl?
What? You read my mind.
The genie is out of the box.
Great minds think alike.
You
What's
said you said you'd be quiet, Gumpy. Come on. I don't want to have to pull the plug.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
see
It
what
sounds.
you did there. I'll try to keep it down, but no promises. Glad I could give
genie?
you a laugh. Anything else I can do to brighten your day?
No, please just stop for a moment. Okay.
Got it. I'll zip it for a bit.
Okay. Jeremy, do you still think she's fabulous?
What is going
I'm not
on?
sure who she. All right, I'm all ears. What's next? I appreciate your take your time.
Right.
Okay, I'm here. I'm all ears.
Right, sorry, I had to turn her off there. And I had to wade through a load of virus protection ominously to do so as well.
My
Oh,
goodness
this is the
me.
shape of things to come, Jeremy. It's seamless, isn't it?
Is it? Is that the shape of things to come?
Seamless
I
design,
turned it off.
every
Okay, I thought I turned her off, and she's back again. That's just suddenly it's not funny, right? Okay, yeah.
No,
Shape
I'm
of things to
stunned.
come.
That's
What do you make of this? You are the practitioner of an ancient art form that has been honed over thousands of years from ancient China, and that area, not just specifically the nation state, but that area culturally and historically. And here we have something that's just been unleashed on us in the last year. I mean, people have been talking about, I suppose, for a couple of decades and the possible impact. But here we are in a very steep learning curve, and a little shape of the interface, a little shape of things to come, and the interface between humans and machines. What do you make of it, Jeremy?
interesting you should say. Of course, I do have an opinion. The one of the interesting things that comes out of the style or the family of QiGong that I teach is that it was led by a guy called Dr. Pang Ming, still alive, lives in China. And when he set the whole thing up, his idea was that humanity needed a kind of a pathway to try and lift itself out of its kind of not quagmire, but just the kind of thing that we're talking
Hey
about.
there.
Kind of problems
How
we
can I
see.
help you today?
I'm literally going to pull a plug out of the machine now. Carry on, carry on.
Yeah, so he's looking at he was looking at how could he start to help humanity to kind of like pull itself up the next level. How do we continue to evolve? And so from his perspective, what we needed to do was to spend as much time as possible, in a calm, peaceful, friendly state, spend time being loving human beings in community. His solution wasn't to, spend more money on computing and weapons. His was quite the reverse of that.
Yes, so, that's a recipe for a happy humanity, isn't it? More money on computing and weapons.
That's what we're doing every day. That's what we're doing, constantly sort of adding to this kind of like crazy conflagration and competing. But his idea, he actually started to build a city in China, and the idea that it was going to be run on these very sort of like community family guidelines, that there was going to be qigong at the base of it, where everybody would do their exercises every day, plenty of meditation, healthy exercise, healthy lifestyle, eating well, work-life balance, these kind of things. Unsurprisingly, he got closed down by the Communist Party because they didn't like the idea of too much peace going around.
It's not funny, is it? It's not funny, but it's kind of.
But that's it, because this is the sort of the odd duality of the world that we live in. We need to have conflict in order to kind of like feel ourselves, to feel anything at all. We need to be fighting with other people, have this bizarre. Anyway, I look at AI and I think to myself, I can see that it's a natural, and I've worked in the computer business for 20 years. I can see that it's a natural progression of how we go and what we do. And my hope and prayer about all of this is that the very basic irritating jobs, apparently maybe like being a radio presenter, may be completely taken off our hands.
Yeah, you sir. Basic and irritating. I'll take that review.
By a fantastic AI host who can do so much better than you. What can I do for you now? So no, I don't think radio hosting is something that we're going to have to get rid of, fortunately. But things like they talk about the legal industry, that 50% of the legal industry is going to be just sort of dissolved because there's going to be no work for them, on the basis that computing AI can do that so much better than humans. It can look through so many more cases and precedents and things like that, and pull together legal documents that take people hours and hours to do that it can do in a moment. So that an insurance, that's another area that's really panicking, because all of their kind of paperwork is going to go, and an awful lot of people will lose their jobs because of that. But actually that's fantastic, because what we're talking about is taking the drudgery out of human life. Does that perhaps release us to be able to spend our lives doing better things? It might release us to spend our lives doing more war, I suppose, is one possibility. But I'm hoping the other possibility is that it takes out all of the rubbish out of our lives, and that people have a little bit more time to sit in peace, to do exercise, to look after themselves, to start to look at the things that are becoming more popular, like yoga and QiGong. Start to look at things like meditation and mindfulness, and actually think to themselves, well, 2 hours of my daily work are gone now. What could I fill that with? Well, I could look after my own body. I could go out for a walk. I could spend an hour meditating, and then suddenly humanity is moving towards that kind of place that Dr. Pang was hoping for, which is a bit more peaceful, a bit more loving, a bit more kind to ourselves, which is where all of this starts.
My goodness, he sounds like the Buckminster Fuller of the East in many ways, perhaps.
Exactly that. Exactly that.
What an amazing. Is he still with us? Is he still around? On this
No, he's in his 80s. I think he's mid-80s. No, he's not. He's early 80s. Lives in Beijing. He's currently kind of not allowed anymore to talk about QiGong, because QiGong has become deeply unpopular with the Communist Party, and so he's not allowed to talk about QiGong anymore. But what he does do is he's a philosopher. He writes books about Taoism and Confucianism, about quantum science and things like that, about living in the heart. So all of the subjects that sort of build up the idea of QiGong, but he's not allowed to talk about QiGong exactly.
How amazing. Has it been driven underground then? Is it like sort of Fight Club, but you don't fight, you just go and get well quietly and secretly somewhere in the car park?
I think hundreds of millions of people practice, every single day, and have family practices and new practices from the last generation and things like that. So I think many people just do their QiGong anyway. But as far as the organizations are concerned, they're currently not allowed. Although interestingly, QiGong has come back into universities so you see on my tag there, I say I'm a QiGong teacher and a healer. I use this thing which is called medical QiGong, which is a kind of like acupuncture type healing. Actually, from my perspective, my healing has become much more about talk therapy, about the mind style of things, the how our mind affects our body. But in universities, they're now starting to bring back that aspect, which is how mind affects body, but they're also starting to do some exercises as well, which are just called, Chinese calisthenics or something like that. So they've just kind of rebranded QiGong and brought it back in. But the problem that they had originally in China around about the year 2000 with an organization called Falun Gong. And Falun Gong had 300 million members, and the Communist Party only had 80 million members. And an awful lot of people in the Communist Party were in Falun Gong, so they had to shut Falun Gong down before everything became before it became super peaceful.
Yeah, totally understandable, isn't it? And you make a very interesting point, I think, that connects back to AI with the effect of the mind on the body, as in, thoughts create reality in a way, would be another way of putting it. And that's what we're doing with how we're thinking about AI, is creating the AI we've got. And I was shocked there that, by her own admission, Gumpy says, oh, yeah, everything that I talk about, we got shut off in October 23. That's how up to date I am, which is a huge and telling shortcoming in a way. And the points you make are valid. And they're also showing us how we're thinking as a culture, aren't they? It's like, law and insurance might be undone. Well, you could argue, couldn't you, that those were things that came from our minds, in terms of, we didn't know how to trust each other. So we had to create these horrific amounts of legal propositions that then need to be checked by people who have declared themselves expert in that. And other experts have said that they're experts, but you're not an expert. You need this expert who got trained by me, who you have to pay loads of money to. And instead of figuring out how to be affectionate and warm and communicative and open with each other, we've created law. and fear of the future has been dealt with by insurance, it
Mm.
would appear. So it's not a terrible thing in a way if we can change our minds about these basic propositions. But of course, if we can't change our minds about the most basic things about what we're here to do, we will just use AI to turbocharge an already sick way of viewing things. I
Yeah,
suspect.
absolutely. And that's why, these so what you're talking about, Gumpy, is what is known as an LLM, large
Yes.
language models. And large language models have had to stop learning from 2023 onwards because they would just start to learn from other AI models. So any other information that's out on the internet, it just becomes a kind of like a spin cycle where, I say, the picture of a tree, and I say, tag it with the word frog, and then AI suddenly goes, this must be a frog. And that sort of, goes around everybody's language model. And so it pollutes everything. So they had to stop in 2023 to kind of like, stop the whole thing from becoming a stupid nonsense, I suppose. And then they have to start training these language models very, very carefully so that the whole thing doesn't become but the point about it is there was already so much rubbish on the internet anyway that they're
Yes.
already polluted by, and the pollution goes on. And then we use our little phone and we go, can you tell me what? And, you can't guarantee the rubbish you're getting out of that is actually true. It's just
Well,
somebody
can
else's.
I take issue with that? Because if not for the internet, we wouldn't have an image like this, to be fair. Do you know who this is?
It looks, no, I don't.
It's
It looks
Bon
very familiar.
Jovi. It's Bon Jovi.
I was going to say, it looks like John Bon Jovi, but he's got a banjo.
It's Bon Jovi, of course. You see, they
Okay.
could. I'm not going to let that. That can't be taken away, and I hope that it does end up in a language model somewhere. Do you know what though? I refute, and I'm very suspicious about this idea. I think that's a public safety announcement. That's a little AI propaganda. No, we didn't let anything go in after 2023. That's nonsense. Of course, if not for public consumption, that you can bet your life, can't you? There's an AI lab somewhere that's put everything as much as possible in just to see what happens. Because
Yes.
it seems these overgrown lads would do that, wouldn't they? In the way that they, when they were kids, and seeing what happens when you pull the legs off a spider, they're doing the same technologically somewhere, aren't they?
Yeah, you know
So
that.
that,
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. And I saw a story about some publishing AI, and what they'd done was that they'd kind of like tried to read every single book in the whole world and then use the information, but give no credit to the authors whatsoever. And so they actually went ahead and absorbed, sort of 10 billion books or something like that. And now they have to pay like, 10 billion euros, and they're not allowed to use any of the information at all. And so,
Oh my
I'm glad to see that things like that are actually taking place. But they didn't bother asking anybody. They just thought, well, that's fine. We'll just grab every book we can find.
Yeah.
Make a
Well,
great
you're an
model.
author. How did you feel about that when you saw that?
Well, I mean, I know the rubbish I put in my book, which is now circulating the internet.
In a loop, in an endless loop that could
In an endless loop.
cure humanity. So that brings us nicely back to your QiGong mission, then, Jeremy. And I had a great one-to-one session with you, and you're running your physical classes. And actually, that it's a good point, isn't it? It's the antithesis in a way of distant technological, the brittle, cold world of technology. And what you're trying to do is you bring people together and learn something that you have to do in real time. I don't think there's a shortcut, is there? You have to do this. You have to practice this to get real time, real life results based on thousands of years of knowledge that have been put into this.
Yeah, I mean, I had a student. I was asking him to come on a course, and he said, "Oh, I don't know." I said, "Well, exactly the same course as you came along."
Yeah.
And I was sort of saying to him, you should come and have a look. And he said, "Oh, I don't know. I mean, we can just chat for 5 minutes, and I can find out everything I need to know." I just thought, wow, what a strange attitude. How
Kids
do you?
today, eh?
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. And so that's it. So I was looking at my kind of how long have I been teaching for, and I realised that probably sometime in the next 6 months I will have been teaching for 25 years, and my own personal journey started 10 years before that. So it will be coming up for 35 years shortly that I've been soaking myself in qigong, and I feel like I've just just scrape the edges of it. I feel
Yes,
that,
yes.
I really am just a babe when it comes to these things.
Yeah,
I've got
yeah,
such little kind of, I mean, I love it and it's great and it's, part of my life, but I can just keep on learning about it forever. I find new things every single day in my reading. So, I'd love to be able to shortcut things for people. And what I do, and to be fair, the style of Qigong that I teach, Dr. Pang has done the same thing. So just to tell you a little bit about his history, he was a kind of like a Tai Chi gold medalist of China. He was a Qigong champion, all these sort of things, when they use it as a martial art and so forth. He then became a Western GP for 7 years, did the 7-year degree in that. He then did the Eastern medicine degree, 7 years. He was treating the highest up members of the Communist Party, curing them of cancer, all sorts of crazy things. But his story was that when he became that famous in China, he had something like 18 different grand masters who came to him and said, look, we'd like to tell you what we know. And that is virtually unheard of, because he became the kind of the crucible, the pot that all of this information from their lineages was poured into. And then he created the style that we teach. And he's obviously, what he's done is he's picked the best of everything and he's tried to stack it into the shortest possible space to bring about the best kind of bang for your healing buck, if you like.
yeah,
So
yeah.
in a funny way, he's become like, the grok of Qigong.
Yeah, you stop short of McDonald's, but I totally get the point. And there is a sweet spot, isn't there, of not compromising the art form, but not making it unnecessarily slow and inefficient. And here
Yeah.
you are representing that where it
Lineage.
drops here in Europe, and I'm glad you're doing that. And I need to say good morning to Heather as well. Maybe we'll have a little bit of a crossover here as well, because we don't want to keep Heather waiting. But before we bring her onto the screen, how to get involved. I've put your website on there, quantumqigong.co.uk. People can come and do classes in San Martino de Porto and work with you. They can work with you online. Have we got a retreat set up yet, where people can come and enjoy this wonderful part of the world we live in?
Not yet. No, we're still working on with it. We're still working on with that theory. I was looking at a piece of land in near Tomar, but unfortunately, that's not working at the moment. So I don't think that's going to happen. But hey, I'm working forward with the idea. I'm hoping that I will find a space where we can have the idea. Dr. Pang's plan was always to have month-long retreats where people who are really chronically ill can spend a whole month, just in silence, just doing exercise, eating well, being in nature. So that's what I'm aiming towards. I'm always working towards that as my plan. But as you say, yeah, we'll have some classes going starting on the 3rd of March in San Martino de Porto. But I'm there online every Tuesday and Thursday, 9:30 a.m. teaching classes. And on a Wednesday at 9:30, I do a special healing class. But
Very good.
don't plug out of Carl's class today and go straight into mine, because I'm actually going flying today because I'm in London. I'll be coming back to Portugal tonight. So
okay. Right.
Yes,
Okay.
I went to class this morning at 9:30. Well, it's been covered by my very useful and handy and excellent colleague called Colin. So if anybody wants to go to the 9:30 class this morning, they can dip into my website, find the link, join in and start.
Fantastic. All right, we'll leave it there then. Safe journey. I'll see you back here in San Martino de Porto at some point. And yes, maybe I can catch up with you because I want to do another interview with you in a different environment. You may see my message about that, Jeremy. But for the time being, thank you very much for being here. We shall see you again next month. Happy travels and see you in San Martino.
Really good speaking to your audience.
Ciao, mate. See you. Bye for now. Bye for now. Very good. Let's keep the applause going, shall we? And head over to Caldas de Rainha and see if the park's open again. Hola, bon dia.
Hi, bon dia, bon dia.
Tudo bem, querida? How are you?
I'm doing okay. We're hanging in there. We did pretty well overall with the lovely weather, but I still have this hot spot, believe it or not, because I live in the country in the largest parish, and we are still out of internet.
Wow, this is what's being forgotten about, perhaps, as the country comes back into its some sense of normality. There are some people, I think, without electricity, and clearly people without internet, or internet that comes in and goes out. How long have you been without then? About 4 weeks now.
Yeah, exactly. It was sort of crazy, but thankfully this hotspot, I got it straightened out and it's been working really well. Because of course I had to cancel a lot of consultation, client calls, intro calls, and all of that for a while. I was in the US for a little while. So I was able to do a little bit there. But of course, when you're in the US, you're doing stuff you have to do in the US. So needless to say, we're up and running, and it's okay. Supposedly, Mio said yesterday or this week, and they are saying the 28th. So that's soon. That's this week, right? So
like, it
we'll
could
see.
be yesterday, it could be this week, but let's go for the 28th. Wow.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, I've got an issue with them. I cancelled my Mayo, went to Vodafone, and they're still charging me for the full price for my old plan. And I just dread getting in touch with them about that, because I just know there isn't going to be who says to me, "Oh, that's terrible. Let me sort that out, and I'll create an immediate refund for you." It's not going to be like that, is it? As we know.
No, I have to go talk to them about that too, because I think I'm still paying for like my parents' lines and stuff like that.
Really?
So I'm still paying for crap I have to get rid of.
Oh my goodness! Right? Okay. I wonder how much of their business model is based on that sort of inefficiency. They're a really, really profitable company. A very profitable company providing service to people who don't use it anymore, but they're getting charged nonetheless. My goodness.
Yeah, well, the vote, actually, this is Vodafone, the hotspot. So now I have another contract. So I was like, you know what? We can't be out of internet like this. So I subscribed to this hotspot, which is not that expensive, so it's not a big deal. So yeah. So anyways, we fared well. We did go. The park is open. We did go to the park the other day.
All right. Is it looking a bit sad?
The back part of the park is closed off. So the side and the back, which is actually technically the front. The Sauna Hotel side is open. The side across the street from the mall is open, which is technically the back. But I don't know. We always call it the front. So the parking lot is in the back. That side is closed still, last I knew. So there's a lot of large trees that, that came down onto the fence on the one side and took the fence down. And then there's just a lot of large trees that fell. But we walked around the lake and stuff like that, and it seemed like all the trees in that whole central kind of part of the park survived, which is really good, because I know my clients in Leiria did not have the same to say about their park.
No, but very, very sad over there. That was a bit of an update from Dom Carlos Park, which is reopened now in Caldas de Rainha. We're getting questions coming in for you, Heather. Of course, you help people move to Portugal. For anyone who doesn't know you from this environment and may see you later on, people can find you at bootsonthegroundpt.com. A little bit of chat about the phone companies and how things are going for residency renewals. So let's get into those. Matty was saying, by the way, as far as Jeremy's conversation goes, that is exactly why I bought my property, to create a health retreat. Marvelous. More of that, Matty. I have only ever had the hotspot. It is my only form of home internet. Does well. Yeah, that's what I had actually when I first arrived. We were house sitting in a place with terrible internet, so we got a hotspot with Vodafone, I think, back in the day, and portable to take to land or holidays. Mayo has been great to us, says T-Duck. Same here, actually. When it was working well, it was fine. It's just when things go wrong, it's sorting things out once they've gone wrong. That's the problem, isn't it? Go to a physical location. I think I will go back to my friends in Caldas, actually, and get them to help me. They have worked out several issues on the spot. Last time I saw them, I was taking the kit back. When you finish an internet contract, make sure you take your router back and your TV smart box, because otherwise they'll charge you for it. Okay, that's about residency renewals. We only had a hotspot for our apartment in Caldas. It worked great for 2 years. We still have it. It comes in handy all the time. Good backup, actually, when we're talking about preparedness as well.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yep. When I last lost internet via my Mayo fiber connection, I bought a router with a SIM card. This router switches from fiber to 5G if needed. The SIM I got from Mayo for free. Excellent.
So don't contact me for internet problems, but
no,
it's
portable, isn't it? Portugal Lifestyle Appa here as well now. Watch out. Good morning to you as well. Right. Good question. T-Duck asking, how are things going for residency renewals? So how's it looking with the interface with the esteemed IMA? I nearly called them a corporation. I guess they are, aren't they? But organization.
You know, things are getting better, and they're plugging along. And so we have started helping with renewals, and hearing from some of your folks, heard from T-Duck actually, and so that was cool. And yeah, it's just a matter of if your timing is opened, and of course, you know, we help people on the front side of that, which is consulting about Portugal to begin with, and helping them do the whole process to begin with, and getting their visas and getting through the health number and the residency card and the driver's license exchange and everything, so that it's just one package. But yes, we have started including in our new contract for 2026, we've started including that first 2-year renewal. So we're helping people not only with the initial appointment, but then the AMA appointment in country, and then even the 2 years later, the renewal. So that's all included in our prices now on our website. Good. So yeah, they're plugging away.
How are you feeling about the atmosphere? It's 2 questions really. One is specifically working with IMA. Are you sensing improvement there? But also, I would guess as well, you're getting maybe calls from people who were thinking about Portugal, seeing the news, if they did see the news, because it wasn't widely reported. There's been a lot going on in the newsosphere. Yeah. But I wonder if how public perception has been affected. First off, IMA then, do you sense that there is an improvement and things are moving in the right direction with the organization and the bureaucracy?
Yeah, I would say so. The residency cards are getting issued a lot quicker than they had been. Cool. So, and also when we've had clients that have appointments automatically set by IMA, that have been far away, which is common now. We've requested that they be moved up, and they've been doing that pretty successfully. We've been able to get those moved up and get people in faster to get on the road to their health number and all those things. So that's been really great. So, you know, you just have to roll with the punches, but all in all, the other thing that we're doing sort of differently is a lot of people like that can go to San Francisco consulate are doing walk-ins. And so we're getting their files fully prepared with an estimated walk-in date that we decided together with our clients, and we have everything done, and then they're good to go. So that's our latest strategy with a lot of people that are in that loop in the states that feed into San Francisco. And we have a company we work with that's making appointments, and they're be able to do that and doing well when they're making those last minute appointments for like a week or less, that sort of thing. So come to us, we'll get you all prepared, and then you can go that route if you're in the right state to do so.
Excellent. Any updates on the social security number? Because that was being asked for. Are you helping people with that as well? I heard of a I heard of a very strange hack. People are suddenly discovering, some people are discovering they need a social security number. One hack I heard about this morning was somebody had the company started for them so they could get the social security number, and then they shut the company down straight away. That sounds like a terrifying. That sounds like a terrifying option, Heather, doesn't it? I mean, if you start a company, it's a bit like Mayo.
You don't want to. You don't want to do that.
You don't want to start a company here unless you absolutely have a strategic need to do so, right?
Yeah, no, that's not necessary, because you don't actually. You do need the NIS along the way, but you don't need it for the VFS appointment. You don't need it for the AMA appointment anymore. There is a point in time where you need it. Sarah would know more than me, my associate, because I believe it comes when it's the health number or something like that. So, and definitely for the renewal, they want to see that. So there is a point in time, but we've been able to work through that. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, all in all, pretty good.
We'll come back to the general perception of Portugal in just a moment, then abroad, because I think you'll have a sense of that.
Sure.
Tito, we've been here for 5 years on the D7, 2 years, then the 3-year renewal. How long will our next renewal be on the temporary visa? Yeah, what happens
Good
after the first
question.
5 years? Yeah.
Yeah. So the first one, like I said, it's 2 years, and then the next renewal is 3. And then after that, you can just keep renewing. The 3 years is what it is. So it keeps renewing at 3 years unless you were to apply for permanent residency, or yeah, basically that's where you go. So the 3 years is to answer the question.
Okay, there you go. I still don't know if I have a residence. I still don't have a residency card. And don't know if I need one, or even can get one, or where to ask for one. Well, that's a pretty pickle.
Well, EU passport. Go to your camera. Go,
Yeah,
really, it's your Loja de Cidadão, which is
Yeah.
Loja store. So it's their city store. I would start at your camera. Our Loja is in the camera. It depends on where you live. But if you go to the camera and ask them, I'm an EU citizen, I'm looking to apply for crew, which is a crew card, which is what you're after, they should be able to direct you to the right place.
That is to depersonalize that situation. The gold standard there, as I understand it, anyway, Heather, is you have to do that if you are an EU Schengen person enjoying your right of free movement, which I don't want to rub it in, but that's no longer a right of the Brits, of course.
I know.
You are meant after 90 days to report to your local camera for exit.
Well, and that's the thing. When I say go to the camera, wait till you're over 90 days, because you actually have to go past that. You have a crew, but no residency card. You wouldn't get a residency card if you have a crew.
There you go.
You have a crew.
There you go, Matty. Right.
It's better
very
than
good.
a residency card. Trust me.
Yes. It's like being James Bond, licensed to live. in another part of the EU, right? The public perception. So you've got the kind of spidey senses, I think, feeling what's going on in terms of public perception, international, global perception of Portugal, all sorts of things going on. Presidential election, with who's being described as a populist candidate in the running. That news would have gone around the world. Perhaps the weather as well and the storms. How is that affecting people's interest in Portugal? What would you say?
I'm not sure how clued in people are to the politics because, well, it's confusing. But the good news is the kind of very right-wing Chega party lost, and that's good for expats. So I would say that's good news, and we're plugging away. Overall, I think there's still just people pick up on the news, the sound bite. You have to remember sound bites are meant for excitement. So they're meant to sound crummy. And so according to that, our house is worth nothing. And, we don't have a roof and, blah, 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 blah. But the reality is we do have a roof, knock on wood. Granted, I know not everyone does. And the reality is housing is still very much in demand. The real estate market is intact. Things are always going to shift, but the reality is globally, a lot of these changes have occurred with values going up and so forth. So I think a lot of people get tied in. My background is a real estate broker in Arizona, and we had the same thing. Everyone, the sky is falling and all the Californians are moving here and, all of that. And it wasn't true. That was perception. Reality was something different than that. And so I think ultimately people need to watch less news.
That's great advice. Okay. So a YouTube clickbait and the perception is not reality. That's very interesting. And I do notice the one clickbait title I haven't seen on YouTube about migration is "Move to this country. We don't have weather here." or we never.
We never have weather. It's always sunny. Like it's always sunny in Philadelphia,
actually,
right?
wasn't that Portugal 5 years ago? Anyway,
It was.
no, actually, to be fair, we only claimed there were 300 days of sunshine. We didn't say it was sunny all the time. But
Well,
yeah,
this was fluke weather, as we know, and not something that we've seen before. And I don't think people that have been living here their whole lives have seen before. So it was a thing, and it's no longer. So that's the good news.
Thank God.
There's our pretty new website. Look at that.
There's your pretty new website with its lovely colours. And top right-hand corner, book a free discovery call with Heather. Last word to you then, Heather. We're up on 9 o'clock here this morning. Time to go out and enjoy that sunshine that we're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. If anyone has questions or is considering relocating, feel free to holler. We do free calls with folks all the time, kind of help you assess your situation and what the basic requirements are for getting a visa, so you can stop reading like mad about this visa and that visa. Just schedule a call and we can chat.
Very, very good. Heather, always great fun talking to you.
Yeah,
I always love to you and the menagerie over there and this recovery. And I hope you get your internet back soon. Have a great day, everybody. Take care and bye for now. And we'll see you tomorrow. Ciao, ciao. See ya. Bye-bye.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show